How many of you have not heard about artificial intelligence or AI? So you totally get this, right? So I'm not going to spend too much time talking about what AI is, but I do want you to walk out of this room feeling a little bit more comfortable about the hype behind AI. If you look at the different types of AI, let's level set a little bit, right? Artificial narrow intelligence is a form of AI which can do a specific task that any human can do. So like playing chess, self-driving cars, drones. Artificial general intelligence is a form of AI where the AI can do anything that a human can do. And artificial superintelligence is a form of AI which can do anything better than any of the human beings. So that's, when you hear about the AI taking over the world, or you hear about AI just taking over everything, people are talking about artificial superintelligence. And now think about the applications of AI available today. It's all in the narrow intelligence phase. AI can beat us at chess, but if the house in which it's playing chess is burning down, the human will run out and escape, but AI still continues to play chess, right? So it's very, very narrow. But the fact is that people like to hype about artificial superintelligence. Given the capabilities today, given the technologies, given the compute power available or the processing power available, we are nowhere near reaching superintelligence. So hopefully that level sets a little bit about what AI is. Now let's look a little bit back at the history of mankind. For 8,000 years, mankind didn't change much. Humans were the same. We didn't really, we were around 500 million people in population, very focused certain areas. But towards the end of the 17th century, there were big changes. And the reason was this, the invention of the steam engine. Invention of the steam engine changed a lot of things. It changed our lifestyle. It changed how people work. What do they do? Mass production came into play. What steam engine did was to increase human muscle power. Till then, our physical power restricted on what mankind could do. And I believe that AI is just going to extend our mental capabilities. Just like what the steam engine did to extend our physical abilities, AI is going to help us extend our mental abilities. We're going to do a little bit of how change has impacted all of us in the past 100 years, just to give you a sense of where we have been and what are the changes that you've seen. So in 1917, the literacy rate was at 23%. And today, you all know it's well over 80%. You look at the average price of a car 100 years ago was $400. Today, I'm sure you all are aware of it. Phones, 8%. And today, is there anybody in the room who doesn't have a phone? The global population, you can see the exponential growth. This, for me, is the biggest one, the next one that's going to come up. What was the biggest invention ever in 1917? Any guess? It was a toggle light switch. It was a switch that you could turn on and off. That was the biggest invention in 1917. And in 2017, we're talking about gene editing software. It's changing basic genes of how we are structured. Now, can we honestly sit here today and imagine what life would look like 100 years from now? can anybody truly predict what life would look like 100 years from now? So the complexity of technology and labor, the connection, the correlation has always been complex. Technology has always changed how work is done, whether you look at the internet or the mobile wave in the recent times, or whether you look at automation that happened, or when the steam engine was invented, where mass production came into play. The fear of how work changes has always been there, but what I can tell you is that technology always creates new and better jobs. To give you an example, when I was studying my computer science degree, there was nobody with the title of an app developer. So I think you can guess when I studied, this was back in the 80s and early 90s. An app developer was not a job title that you aspired to. But today, it's a very well-paying job. And I know that 10 years from now, AI is going to create new jobs that we don't even know what it'll look like. And that's why education is key. Or look at this, a humanoid robot that's mixing up a cocktail which a human will drink, right? So doesn't that mean that we can actually enable AI to make our lives better, right? I want to tell you a story of the gas stations. 60, 70 years ago, there was actually a job title called gas attendant. You pulled into a gas station, and a human would come out and fill up gas. In 1964 or so, they brought in one of the gas stations, installed an engine or some kind of automation where the owner could control which pump turned on, and the person could pump gas themselves. In the next 30 years, throughout the country, every gas station started replacing gas attendants with these machines. Hundreds of thousands of gas attendants were left without a job because a machine took it over. But what happened in this case was, this actually created new jobs. You needed developers, you needed engineers, testers to build out these machines that were now automatically filling gas. And people were paying less for gas because they didn't have to pay a gas attendant, and they were actually shopping on their phones. So that means they had money to buy phones, and then there were app developers and software developers who were creating the apps, and the shopping economy took off. And since it needed less less humans to actually staff these gas stations, there were more gas stations set up, which led to more jobs. And each of these gas stations started converting to mini marts so that people could go in and shop. So new jobs were created. And today, you wouldn't find any gas attendant, right? Hundreds of thousands of jobs were lost, but new jobs were created. And this has been true throughout history. So how do we enable our children today and prepare them for jobs that don't even exist? Education is going to be crucial. But our kids today are already familiar. They're used to playing virtual games. They're used to having AI recommend which restaurant they should go to. They're used to having AI telling them what music they should listen to and what music they might like. They're used to it. But how do we educate them? Because they might be living in a world where they have to be prepared to not only work and collaborate alongside AI, but in some cases, they might be actually competing with AI. So the way we think about education has to fundamentally change. And I think as AI grows and thrives, we're going to see more and more human characteristics coming out. Empathy, creativity, I think AI is actually going to make us all better humans. Today, when you look for a job, what are the two things? How do you choose a career? It is usually dependent on what comes easily to you and what pays you well, right? But how many of us haven't met, say, a bartender who really wants to be a painter or an artist? There's always somebody like that. But I think what AI is going to do is to bring in that third circle in the Venn diagram on helping us do what we love. But we are unable to do it today. But AI is going to actually help us do it because of the precise reason of automation. AI is being built by us. We as humans are the ones developing AI. We have complete control of how we build it. It is up to us to build AI in a way that collaborates with us. We have the power to actually help AI become our allies, our buddies, to help us all become better humans. And I leave you with this, that it is real. The only thing bad for mankind, other than developing AI, is to not develop AI. You just have to look at history to know that AI is going to make us create new jobs, change the way we live in a better way, and bring out the humans in all of us. Thank you.